There are times when using a switch statement that you want two or more case clauses to generate the same output or do the same thing if they're true. In some languages, you're allowed to take out the break, like this. And then what happens is, with the break statement gone, the execution falls through. So if, for example, I entered A in this program, capital A, without the break, the output would be 90 to 100, and then it would also print 80 to 89 and then come across the break. Unfortunately, in C#, you can't leave the break statement out. But what you can do instead is stack what are called case labels. So let me demonstrate. What if instead of having print out the grade range, what we want to do is, based on a letter grade, determine if it's a pass or fail. And so, for example, maybe a C grade or better is a passing score and D or below is a failing score. So rather than print out a range, what you want to do is you want to have three labels stacked together. The A, the B, and the C, like so. And then here we would have just a simple message pass. And then for D and F, we'll just have the simple message fail. So let's run this program, try a couple of them. Let's enter a C, that's a passing grade. Run it again, let's do an A, that's a pass. One more time, we'll do a D, and that's a fail. So while you can't take out the break statement out of a case clause, you can stack case labels like this, and then have one set of statements executed if any of the case labels that are stacked are true. Now, one more difference between C# and other languages with the switch statement is that the case clause expression can be a string as well as an integral value. So we could have written our program like this and used strings instead of chars. So let's go ahead and make the changes here. And then for D and F, the same thing. It's going to show error until I clean up all the other data problems here, which we're going to do as soon as I finish changing these case labels. Then we're going to turn this into string, like so. And then we don't need convert to char anymore, so we'll take that out. Now we have a working program again. Now we can enter strings and get the same result. So a string value can also be passed to a switch statement as well as an integral value. That's a difference. Every other language, or at least every other popular language, C++, Java, only allow integral expressions passed to a switch statement. It's the .NET languages like C# and VB.NET that allow strings to be passed as well. So that wraps up the switch statement. I might want to say one more thing. You can tell that switch statements are used for fairly simple multiple case situations. When you have a lot of and oring to do logical operations, you're probably not going to use a switch statement. For things like old-time menus where you make a menu selection 1, 2, 3, or 4, or pick a letter, those kinds of things, then the switch statement is useful. So having said that, we're ready to move to the next alternative control flow structure that we're going to talk about in this chapter. And that's the do-while loop, where the test or the relational expression, the condition, is at the bottom of the loop rather than at the top. And we'll start looking at that in the next lesson.